All right, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Carter Kelly, and thank you for watching this tour. So what this tour is it's an exploration of the last 10 years of my time in the United States Army, where everything started summer 2009 to where I am today and really through today. It's been a great 10 years and wanted, again, take this opportunity to take you through it. So like I said, everything started back in 2009, summer thereof. In June, I reported to the United States Military Academy at West Point. West Point is a four-year service academy located about an hour north of New York City in New York State. It's right on the Hudson River, and like I said, it's a four-year college, four-year academy. Everybody graduates with a bachelor's in science and commissions into the United States Army as a second lieutenant. Everybody who graduates, that is. So this is what West Point looks like from the Hudson River. Beautiful campus, everything's made out of made from the granite harvested right there in New York State. Um, Very traditional looking, very beautiful area. Um, looks it looks like a fortress, and everything there is kind of modeled, designed to look like the original architecture. The fort of West Point, which predates the Revolutionary War. So a lot of history here. A lot of great opportunities provided by it, and it was a really cool 4 years. So this is where everything started. If you don't mind, I'm gonna take you through it really quick. A couple of the areas that I spent a lot of time specifically while I was at the academy. So I'd like to take you to Crandall Pool. So I was on the swim team for all 4 years. So I'm breaststroke and IM, and Crandall Pool is where I spent. We'll say studying academics was my first time priority. It's where I spent most of my time through those 4 years. Second was swimming. So I spent a lot of time in Crandall Pool, hours devoted to time, perfecting the sport. Were a lot. Looking about 2 hours or an hour and a half each morning, 2.5 hours each afternoon, and then more time up in the weight room, which we'll get to in a minute. But Crandall Pool, so it's got 6 lanes, 650-meter lanes, or you can raise a bulkhead in the middle. You'll have eight lanes for competition pool in the front, 6 lanes in the back. It's got a full diving well. So you've got a 10-meter platform, 5-meter platform, 3-meter platform, and a 1-meter platform, as well as a 3-meter springboard and 1-meter springboard. Great place to train, and a lot of great memories from there. It's my best friends in the world. Spent a lot of time with them there as well. Got a couple other athletic areas here highlighted. One more of them. So we're going to go to Hayes Gymnasium. Hayes Gym is the home of the IOCT, the Indoor uh, Obstacle or Obstacle Course Test. It is an 11 obstacle event, um, and it is a graduation requirement for every cadet that passes through the academy. Um, there's a specific time standard, but there are 11 parts to it. So you've got a low crawl, jumping through some tires, there's a vault, you've got to mount an 8-foot shelf, navigate across some horizontal bars, jump through a tire, cross a balance beam, cross an 8-foot vertical wall, horizontal ladder, so monkey bars, climb a rope, and then a whole bunch of sprints. So carrying a medicine ball, carrying a baton, and then just an empty-handed sprint for the last part. If you want to see a video of the fastest time ever recorded, is hit this past semester by a cadet who's still there now. Makes it look really easy, but everybody has to take almost a full semester-length course just to learn how to do this and then pass it. Military movement, everybody takes it their first year at the academy as plebes. And then I'm going to take you to the only other part of West Point we're really going to hit. If you'd like to, feel free to explore all these pins later, but for the interest of time, we're going to look at the Class of 59 Strength Gym. So up by the football stadium, you've got the 59 weight room. This is the Class 59 Strength Development Center. It's the nicest gym I've ever seen. 10 years in the Army, and then everywhere I've toured before I went to college. This still takes the cake as the nicest, the biggest, the most elaborate gym I've ever seen. It's actually a slightly older photo. They've put a turf in the middle. You've got about 12 deadlift platforms, as many squat racks that all have their own bench included. But you can see there it's got over 32,500 pounds of plates, and you've got 3 sets of dumbbells from 2.5 to 200. It's incredible. Spent a lot of time there, and therefore Pretty passionate about it. But like I was saying, after 4 years at West Point, um, everybody, or I graduated in May of 2013 and commissioned in the United States Army as a second lieutenant in the Armor Branch. After commissioning, I reported to Fort Benning, Georgia. So we're going to jump south. Fort Benning is located in Georgia, right on the border, or right on the state line of Georgia and Alabama. Actually, some of it actually goes into Alabama. But Fort Benning it's the home of the Army School and the Infantry School, which are combined at the Maneuver Center of Excellence. So while I was here, I completed the Armor Basic Officer Leader course, ABOLIC. I completed Bradley Leader course and the Army Reconnaissance course, and then came back in 2017 for a couple other courses and for my command. We'll get more to that later. But I was here from July of 13 through April of 14. And then after I left Fort Benning, I reported to Fort Carson, Colorado. Fort Carson is located about the middle of Colorado, or western side of Colorado, or in Colorado Springs, right on the eastern edge of the Rocky Mountains. So a lot of very beautiful topography, great, don't want to say extracurriculars, but other things to do besides my time in the Army while I was there. But Fort Carson itself is the home of the 4th Infantry Division. We also got 10th Special Forces Operations Group and a couple other smaller units there. But while I was here, I served in the 4th Squadron 10th Cavalry Regiment, the 3rd Armored Brigade Combat Team, 4th Infantry Division, which is in, like I said, Armored Brigade Combat Team. So that's where you've got your tanks and your Bradleys, the larger fighting vehicles, the real fists of the United States Army. Had a lot of great experiences while I was here. I was here from 2014 to 2016. Served as platoon leader, unit movement officer, troop executive officer, and while I was here, this is going to take us to the only part I wasn't able to get on the full extent of the map, and this is where I deployed to in 2015. So we're going to jump across the Atlantic Ocean, a couple other pieces of terrain, over to Amman, Jordan. So I've got the extent put in Kasadic, which we spent some time, but in 2015, we deployed in support of Operation Spartan Shield and Inherent Resolve in Kuwait and Jordan and a couple other places. This is a mission that's focused in two separate parts. Part Sec 4 security forces for a couple different bases across the Middle East, and then also training some of our partners and allies in the region. Again, this is Jordan, working with Jordanians, but spent some time working with some other guys, and it was a great experience. Great use of most of 2015. In this picture, you can see we'd actually just been hit by the tail end, that's the tail end of a sandstorm. You can see the effect that it had on the lighting. There's no filter that's been added to it. That's just the amount of sediment in the air and in the lower atmosphere that's almost blotting out the sun. Middle East is a very, very interesting place. A lot of amazing people there. If you get a chance, I highly recommend going to Jordan itself. Beautiful kingdom and beautiful people. Some of the one of the wonders of the ancient world is down in Petra. Dead Sea is amazing. It is an amazing, amazing country to go to. That's where it was through 2015, and then after upon redeployment, we came back, flew all the way back across everything, and came back to Fort Carson, where I spent about another year, or a little over another year. And after I finished up my executive officer time, I PCS'd back to Fort Benning for Maneuver Captain's Career Course and Cavalry Leaders Course, and this is where I took command in the 194th Armor Brigade. Held command there for 19 months, and this past April, I PCS'd again to Fort Polk, Louisiana. Fort Polk is it's in eastern Louisiana, or western Louisiana, as I was. It's humid. Fort Polk is home to JRTC, the Joint Readiness Training Center. JRTC is where units go to validate their training before they deploy in support of any of a variety of operations, where they could be deployed in the Middle East or Europe or Asia or South America, or really anywhere. GRTC is it's the pinnacle of everybody's training cycle. It's where they do all the cumulative training. Every brigade comes here for 14 days for nonstop training. Um, this includes just maneuver training. It can include airborne training, air assault training, or operations, and then live fire operations. It is an amazing place to, maybe not to visit, but a lot of amazing training happens here. It's one of three CTCs, Combined Training Centers, operated by the Army. One's in Fort Irwin, California, one's in Hohenfels, Germany, and then you've got this one here in Fort Polk, Louisiana. Um, so my job here right now is I'm a Scout Platoon OCT, Observer Coach Controller. I mentor Scout platoons and Scout troops as they validate their training, conducting reconnaissance security operations in support of their brigade combat team. This can be everything from just an area reconnaissance to conducting a guard operation, supporting a brigade's maneuver. A lot of walking through the woods, a lot of focus on deliberate and stealthy reconnaissance operations, but again, we do a whole litany of other tasks as well. It's an amazing opportunity. I get to work with men and women from across the country and across the world, from all walks of life, from all backgrounds, coming together to accomplish a mission, and that's really what it's all about. I love my job. I love what I do. I'm pretty passionate about it. Um, and strive to be better about it or better at it every day. So this is where I am now. This is where I'll be until summer of next year when I start grad school, or the fall of next year when I start grad school. And it's yeah, it's not the best location in the world, but it's one of the best jobs I could ask for. That concludes my tour.